Hello everyone, Treecks here. Welcome back in the Phazon Mines, a region in a game called Metroid Prime. This is going to be part 15, after the end of part 14, where we did a lot of lore reading again, just like in the pirate base in Vendrana Drifts. We've actually learned a lot more about the pirates and what they are doing here in these Phazon Mines. Last time we also pretty much fully covered the ground floor and are now on the first level of the Phazon Mines, deep underground, where we learned a lot of scary things about space pirates actually experimenting on themselves in order to create Phazon-induced pirates. Also something about Chozo Artifacts, how they are actually also trying to chase them in order to access the impact crater, and a certain dangerous creature that is apparently living there. It's time for us to continue exploring this place. While entering this corridor, we will actually find out a lot of poisonous gas will suddenly get injected in here. And therefore saying we need to start moving, otherwise we're going to get hurt. And actually enter the next laboratory. Music will actually indicate there's plenty of enemies to deal with here. It's going to be a combination of wave troopers, ice troopers and power troopers, of course. We've met all three of them by now, so we're going to be meeting up with all three of them on a regular basis. The top part of this room will have a couple of wave troopers for us, apparently. And I think down below we're going to be dealing with power troopers. Yeah, here's one. Remember, best way to kill them, super missile. Because one of them is actually enough. Using the charge beam is a bit more... Oh, hello. Well, I guess that also works. But like I was trying to say, using the charge shot with your power beam is a bit more risky, because it's the only beam that's not able to stun enemies. So if you start shooting them with them, you're going to have to take in account that you're going to get hit yourself a lot as well. So super missiles are definitely the best bet. And find ourselves another console we can scan. More pirate data, apparently. Elite pirate Upsilon's propensity for Phazon has enabled our research team to infuse it far beyond our safety restrictions, and the results have been extremely encouraging. Its constant Phazon diet has increased its mass exponentially, but it has retained all mental faculties, and it shows dexterity with all elite weaponry, including plasma incendiary launchers and the chameleon manta issued for cloaking purposes. Elite Pirate Upsilon exhibits miraculous healing abilities when injured. It seeks out Phazon deposits and coats itself in the substance, which instantly mends the creature's wounds. Ooh. The subject, which we are codenaming Omega Pirate, based on these developments, shows potential to be our new standard for our armies. Our only concern at this point is its potential overdependence on Phazon. Okay, great. It looks like when experimenting with these Phazon pirates, they were actually also able to create a super one. Let's hope we're not going to meet one of these Omega pirates. But I doubt we are going to get that lucky. Of course we're going to meet up with one at some point. I hope we are ready by that point. But first we need to be ready for new weaponry, because this is the room where we can find it. And it looks like it's going to be guarded by one of these robots again. This one's going to be super annoying because he's actually jamming our sensors, as you can see by the static. Also making sure we're not able to lock onto him, so we need to manually shoot at him. This guy can be a bit annoying. Come on, die please. Alright, there we go. And that will open up this little morph ball maze down here. With our next power up in the middle. Alright, who's ready for some 2D morph ball maze action? This is how it works. As you can see, there's a lot of electricity, which will function as the walls. It will of course hurt us the moment we touch it. We need to find a way to the middle. Wait for this one. Here we have a puddle of water. Also pretty obvious how this works. Use a bomb, and then the electricity will momentarily go out, and we can actually pass through. Same deal here. Let's go. No, let's go down here. And eventually reach the middle, where we will find one of Samus's staple moves, returning from Super Metroid. She already gave us a demonstration by blowing up this machine. Here we finally obtain the Power Bomb. While in Morph Ball mode, press the X button to release a Power Bomb. Power Bombs can destroy tougher materials than Morph Ball bombs. Like Bendicium, for instance. This is actually what we need in order to destroy Bendicium. We automatically come equipped with 3 Power Bombs. Unlike the Morph Ball bombs, these are actually not infinite. But these are indeed able to actually destroy Bendicium. Other than destroying enemies, of course. So, press X while Morph Ball. And stuff like this is something we can destroy, giving us access to the 2nd floor of this mine. By far the most scary part in this entire game, in all honesty. However, we're not going to go there, because we will quickly find out the Power Bomb is actually not the only thing we need in order to continue in there. Because while going in there, we will find out there is red doors blocking our access. We also need the ability to open up red doors. And therefore, we're going to backtrack to an earlier part of the game to pick up the red beam. First, we need to get out of this room. The next item we're going to pick up is also going to be in the Phazon Mines, by the way. Remember that room, the ore processing, where we actually used the colored spider ball tracks in order to get ourselves to the next room? There was actually a switch there that was blocked by another pile of rubble, similar to the one that was just lying before that door over there. That is where we're heading next. So we can actually use the yellow spider ball tracks in order to access ourselves another room, where another power-up is waiting for us. That is going to be our next destination. Because that power-up we need in order to access a room in an earlier part of the game where our red beam is going to be ready for us. In the meantime, it looks like one of these elite pirates actually broke out. Previous one I actually defeated with my wave beam, so let's go try the ice beam on this guy. Let's see if that's actually a better weapon to use. Might actually. Ow! He just walked into me. Don't fear his missile launcher or his shockwave attack. You should actually fear him just walking into you. Well, anyway, the ice beam does seem to be a good way to kill this guy, so I guess in that sense it does not matter which one you use. Let's go climb out of this room. Or, what am I saying? Climb out of this room. If you take a close eye at the map, you will see there's another white door. Actually at the top of this room, right over there. And if you actually bother to take a look at it, you'll find out there's another bit of rubble over here. So, power bomb time. Get rid of this rubble. And another cache room will actually open up for us. Oh, 3 missiles. Thank you. I'd like to open up as many crates as I can, because I'm running out of power bombs already. But anyway, go into this little room in order to download the final map of this game. The map area for the Phazon Mines. So we can actually check out how the full place looks. With the exception of a handful of rooms on the top floor, we have fully explored that. First basement floor, we were able to explore until the central dynamo. After that, red doors will appear, so in this area, the second basement floor of the mines, where most of the Phazon harvesting is actually going to take place, is something we're going to check out later. First, we need to return to the ore processing, because we know there's a bit of rubble blocking our access to a switch. And if we are able to use that, we can actually align the yellow pathway for another new power-up. On the way back there, we will find a lot of new things we can actually do with our power bomb, including in this room. Remember this room that actually got poisoned the moment we entered it. There's also a couple of buffers hanging around here, so you can actually try to shoot them for pickups as well, like the new type of pickup we now have, power bomb ammunition. Also remember to scan that if you're going for a full logbook. These things we of course want to pick up. We only have 3 power bombs for now. And in this room we also need it, because there's a Bendicium grate near the exit of this room. So quickly blow that up. While trying to limit the number of damage you're going to take. And go in here. In order to access the back room. Where we can actually activate the fans. Ventilation will now commence. Getting rid of the poison in the room, but also all the buffers. And our reward is going to be an energy tank. How amazing is that? Just for switching on a fan. Who would have guessed? Next energy tank in the game. This one relatively easy to get. Now, with all of the chores out of the way, let's go continue towards the next room. And I think I'm going backwards, actually. Oops. This is the way back, of course. Let's half-pipe our way out of here. Back in this room. Oh, Shadow Troopers. One. And there goes 2. I'm going to assume all of the pirates here are going to be Shadow Troopers. By the sounds of the music, there's going to be more of them. Yeah, here they are. 3 of them at the same time. Yet you guys are still going to lose. I can understand you guys not liking me. You're not able to even put a dent in my power suit. These poor guys. Elevator back to the ground floor. Yeah, don't mind me. I need to keep myself busy. Alright, this room. Let's clean up as many of these guys as we can. To make the trip upwards a bit easier. Climb. And that way, return to the ore processing. And this is going to be our goal. Make sure to have healed up on your power bombs. By this point, you might have actually run out already. If you did not meet up with any of the new power-ups. That way clean up this switch. Let's go line up the yellow pathway, shall we? As you can see, it now goes nowhere. So, we definitely needed this switch in order to be able to get to the top room. Where the next upgrade is waiting for us. Alright, line it up like this. You can always look on the map if you're not really sure where you need to line it up. But we need to do it like this. Because the doorway is going to be directly across from here. Like I said, you can always check the map if you're not sure. This should be fine. Now let's go line up the rest. The other 2 need to be aligned as well, of course. Otherwise the yellow track is still going nowhere. Use the picture that is beside the switch in order to see whether they are connected. First I need to be able to actually get in there in the first place. And one more. And now for the bottom one. Yeah, like I said, this is a lot easier than it actually looks. Don't get overwhelmed by these puzzles. One of them seems to be enough. It's time for us to climb. And see what the second upgrade for this episode is going to be for us. Finding the power bombs was already amazing, but we're going to find another upgrade in this very episode. And that is going to be through this room. Oh, and there's more rubble. So once again, make sure you have at least a power bomb. And pick up another returning item. You can already recognize it, I think. If you see how this looks. It was another item that was taken from us after the Frigate Orpheon. One of the earliest items we had in the game. But only now returns the Grapple Beam. Press and hold the L button to lock onto a grapple point and activate the Grapple Beam. Release the L button again to stop grappling. We were only able to do it once at the beginning of this game, but now the function has returned to us, and this is indeed needed in order to access the red beam in an earlier part of the game, so make sure to bring this along. Now that we have the grapple beam again, we can of course also scan the grapple points. Similar to the spider-ball tracks, we are not able to do this sooner, so remember to scan and use it immediately to go across for a shortcut back to the main room, the first room of this area. Another sort of waste disposal, just like in the frigate Orpheon, which we can use to quickly get out of this place. Immediately goes from the ore processing back to the main quarry. I think this is where I need to go. Can be a bit of a maze, this area. Yeah, but this way we are out of here. Alright, back at the main quarry. Before moving down, remember to actually scan this panel. It will activate the crane in such a way that it also functions as a shortcut the other way. Because now we're also able to actually get to this area from down below. And if you don't mind, I don't really feel like dealing with you guys. There's still one more power-up that I need to get before exiting this area. And that is actually going to be in this corridor over here. However, yeah, like I was fearing, I'm actually out of power bombs, so I need to start killing some enemies in order to find myself a power bomb. Because it's not going to be a surprise, we need a power bomb in order to blow up a wall. It looks like the enemies are not kind enough to actually give me one. Alright, this is where we needed to go. Now that I finally found one, let's return to commentary. This wall over here, if you scan it, you will find out this is also a Medicium gate. So blow it up. And find out there is a missile expansion behind here. This thing was not worth it actually searching for 5 minutes. Stupid power bombs. I think it's about time we start working on expansions for these things as well. Being able to only carry 3 of them is just simply not enough. Not a surprise that those are also item pickups. The missile expansion is not the only type of expansion. We can of course also expand our power bombs. Now that we have found the quote-unquote normal power bombs, the regular power-up you might say, we can of course also start finding the expansions of these things from this point on. And they are already proving valuable, because we're running out of these things quite easily. So, while making our way back towards Magmoor Caverns, where we can now start using the grapple beam, we can hopefully also pick up a lot of expansions. Now, what do you say? We start climbing this place first. I think we are interested in what we can find in this area. There might be something unexpectedly interesting that we can find up here. Hi there. Ow. Really hate these enemies in all honesty. Here we have a boost ball slot, which will open up a gateway over here, it seems. And up here, all of these plants. We are not going to be intimidated by you. Bam! One awesome way to kill that guy. Going to be honest here. Alright, allow me to quickly note. This doorway will actually connect to the elevator that connects to the reflecting pool in the Chozo ruins. Remember how I actually talked about an elevator there that we did not take yet after finding the ice beam? We did actually take an elevator that led us towards the frigate Orpheon, the crash site. But there was another elevator connected to the other white door in the reflecting pool in the Chozo ruins, and that actually ends right over there. In case you were wondering. And that boost ball slot that we just met, that opened up a gate, is the whole reason why we were not able to actually take that route towards the Phazon Mines. And going this way, for the next item we're going to pick up, also wouldn't have helped us. Because for this, the power bomb is going to be required. And that is why we did not go here sooner. As you can see, power bomb required in order to open up this morph ball tunnel, which will lead towards the next interesting area. Before going there, try to actually half-pipe your way up here, because there's going to be a missile expansion hidden in this pathway over here. You can actually hear it. Like I explained earlier, you're always able to hear the power-ups in this game, so that kind of gives away there's indeed something there. But that is how we pick it up. And speaking of picking up, look what we have here. Feels kind of random to suddenly find something like this. But this is the X-ray visor. I guess you weren't expecting that, weren't you? Use right on the D-pad to activate our visor. We now have access to all 4 of the visors. This is our X-ray visor. We can now look in X-ray. Doesn't really help us in order to see things that are normally already visible, like this guy walking around over here. Actually becomes harder to see, but things that are hidden are actually easier to see. Like the fact that these walls can actually be blown up. Because in X-ray visor we can look straight through them. And that way open up the life grove. And the life grove is actually a room that is mentioned in the artifact temple. An artifact is also here. In fact, it is going to be hidden in the water over here. There's a little hidden pedestal in the water that we can actually blow up with our morph ball bomb, and it will race into a boost ball slot. Once we activate that, we will find this is indeed where an artifact is going to be hidden. It's been a while since we've actually found one of those, but here we are. I think it's easier to actually jump from the edge and not from the water. But anyway, here is our next Chozo artifact. The artifact of Chozo. So, with that taken care of, X-ray visor in hand, grapple beam in hand. I think it's time for us to actually start working on finding our final beam in this game. Let's get out of this room and call it an episode, because I can see, looking at my time, that this is going to be the final thing that we're going to do today. We've done plenty of work. Definitely, been able to reach a lot of good work, I wanted to say, but it seems we are not done yet. 3 Chozo ghosts appear. And now that we have the X-ray visor, allow me to tell you, these guys actually become a lot easier. Because they are no longer able to hide from us. The X-ray visor is always able to see them, even the moment they start turning invisible. So these guys are no longer a big deal. You can always follow around where they are, making it really easy to take them out. Even in a big room like this, where it's normally hard to keep track of them, these guys are no longer a problem. Ow. Getting hit can of course still happen. There's 2. Now where's the final one? Oh, there you are. Oh, there's a different enemy. Actually also respawns apparently. And no, apparently not. 3 charge shots, there we go. And once the Chozo ghosts are taken care of, the exit of the room opens up. Apparently that was not opened up yet. So good thing these guys actually appeared, otherwise we were still not able to get out of here. Let's continue getting out of here. Attempt number 2. After not being able to get out of here the first time. Picking up both the X-ray visor and the Chozo artifact in here. If you do, there's no reason to ever return here, so... Preparations for entering the Phazon Mines' lowest area are on their way. X-ray visor, grapple beam. We will continue next time. And I will say, Treecks out.